They go against the condominium, the low rise. Turn around shot.
I like the way you compare teams, partner. Anyway, Fernandez, they're shooting over the head of Ricky.
Well, Ricky Relosa and Villamin, they're strong. Shot block. Generalao. Here comes El Presidente sidestepping.
Alright. Mamaril adds a little speed also to the team because even though he's 6'6", you can see him go up and down the floor. First down in defense. That's the problem though. And there, Yoyoy is being forced to miss right now at some close blank shots. But Coloso coming out of nowhere for his fourth point of the ball game.
Tremendous hustle by Team Coloso. He could feel the rally about to come from Tanduay, and that basket was key.
That was a pretty good pass by Fernandez. It could have seen the fast break, but Padin not really that quick. Couldn't really beat the ball in that play.
71-64, Hills Brothers from Rainbow Country, way off the line. Generalao takes the point.
Look at Mamaril coming in as the trader. He's out there for help, but there's an offensive foul called against Freddie Hubalde.
Well, Freddie Hubalde leaned forward when he was making that attempt. He was trying to get an advantage over Team Coloso, and we have a timeout.
Let me borrow a phrase from you, partner. He's given them quality minutes because he's come on with 6 points here cold. We didn't see action in the first half and coming up with some key baskets. Mamaril.
During the past games, the 5-5 games of Team Coloso has been averaging 19 minutes playing time. Has come up with a high here in the All Filipino Conference with 10 points.
That's right. He has 6 in the ball game right now.
Villamin challenging, doing a reverse. Here he comes again. They're getting the offensive rebound. But 3 seconds going against Valenciano. We have a turnover. By the way, our choice for best player will be revealed to you right after this match. He will be awarded with a gift pack from Home Pride. Fourteen fouls against Tanduay to the 2 of Hills Brothers. Juan Fernandez at the corner, take-off point. Generalao a jump shot.
There's Generalao caught for pushing off against Ricky Relosa.
Not a bad landing. Not a bad landing. Yes. Come on, stiff with his right leg. Ooh, he's got to sit down. That hurts. Dr. Ben Salud attending to him.
There's a jump shot. He goes up.
And he was lifted out of the court. So we now have De La Cruz back on the floor. Esquera is also there, and Hubalde is faced. Generalao with 2 points and 2 defensive rebounds on the part of Hubalde. 11 points and 2 offensive rebounds.
Alulor came into the ball game for Valenciano. There's Relosa going strong to the hoop.
It's Juan Fernandez that executes moves like that.
That's right.
Relosa's got to be delighted with that particular shot.
High post play for Tanduay. Oh, difficult left-handed shot by Onti De La Cruz.
And that drew applause from the fans of Tanduay Rhum makers. 75-68 for Hills Brothers.
Bad pass by Ricky Relosa. Cross court to Villamin. They apologize to each other and to the coach.
Passing error. Charged against Ricky Relosa. Trailing by 7. Tanduay 68 to the 75 of Hills Brothers. They've got 8 in the shot clock.
Fernandez with the getaway, but this time with the left hand, huh?
Very patient, very confident.
Very quick move. And that's just a 5-point lead now for the Hills Brothers Coffee Kings. Tanduay seeming to get the momentum at this point, huh? Seemingly.
And they'll also try to apply magic. Outlet going to Esquera. Team Coloso knocks it away. Juan Fernandez has come up with 8 points out of his 22 right here in the third. A minute to go. Third quarter. Tanduay trailing by 5. Good catch by Padim. No continuation given to Israel.
That's right, the foul committed before he could turn around for the shot. Good foul to give up. Only 3 team fouls against the Coffee Kings.
53 seconds in the third quarter. 5 team fouls against Tanduay to the 3 of Hills Brothers. Tim Coloso gets a hand. Quality minutes. Canson happy with his performance. Back on the floor. He will be covering De La Cruz.
Bad pass there by De La Cruz.
Well, a head and shoulder fake was applied by Padim and is read by De La Cruz.
He beat him to his own teammates fake.
He was pretending to go to Quiapo and then he found himself in Cubao. Here is Lim back on the floor. Esquera covering him.
Good defense there by Ito Esquera. Frankie Lim not really having any success in the offensive game tonight. But he's not really been fielded that much because of the good game of Adonis Chera and Marcus Saldana.
Saldana from Rainbow Country, short. And that's going to be a loose ball foul against Padim. Esquera had the inside track. That'll be the second against Lim. By the way, if you haven't dropped by, why don't you go to Faces, the disco that is more than just a disco. Faces, with a cozy lounge where you can engage in quiet, friendly conversation.
Good drive there by Onchi De La Cruz, getting the foul from Ponky Alulor. 2 free throws also from De La Cruz.
The foul is going against Alulor. That'll be his 4th personal.
De La Cruz, as you remember, did not see action in the first few games for Tanduay because he was stranded in the United States. Has seen action in only 3 games. Still trying to get the game back that he displayed in the first conference, where he was named the most valuable player in the playoffs. No?
Yes, Scoop championship and good selection. Good choice from Scoop. Matter of fact, his trophy was taller than him.
That's right. 3 points for Onchi De La Cruz, all here in the third quarter. Just a 4-point lead right now for the Coffee Kings. And they have certainly won the ball game a lot. They have not been playing the way they did in the first 2 quarters and middle of the third quarter, up to the middle of the third quarter.
Well, De La Cruz is now pressing on Saldana. Back again to the mighty might. Villamin, he sees Fernandez, takes it in anyway.
And that should do it for the third quarter.
Finding Hills Brothers in front by 6
from at halftime to 6. De La Cruz there, getting another 2 points for himself. 5 points right now for him, and the lead has been cut down to 3. 43% shooting for Tanduay in the third quarter compared to a miserable 36% for the Coffee Kings. And they also had more rebounds, 16 to 12. Other than that, they're back into the ball game. Williams snapping off a shot. Martes Saldana with an offensive rebound, and this could be the comeback of Tanduay. And there's a foul called against Alulor. He's complaining, and he gets a technical. That's a T. Let's take a look at that on our slow-mo. Alulor trying to stretch out his foot to prevent Fernandez from going into a fast break. Continues to complain to referee Ledesma, and he gets a technical foul called against him.
Alulor is going to sit down, and we have the return of Tim Coloso. Joining Bogs Adonado, Relosa, Villamin, and Saldana.
Alulor is a very intense player. That's the reason why he was complaining. There's Fernandez, who has been designated as the technical free throw shooter, Pingoy.
And Mon Fernandez, 67% from the free throw line, has taken 15 attempts during the past 4 games of Mon Fernandez, making 10.
Not really been sent to the 15-foot line that much for a guy who takes most of his shots on the inside. Just a 3-point lead right now. Momentum certainly on the side of Tanduay now. The fouls being called against the Coffee King, Padim to the 15-foot line.
And Padim Israel, well, a rare visit, but whenever he calls, prior to that miss, he made his first three.
100% so far. Short on the first try for Padim. 6 points only for him in this ball game, Pingo.
Well, the defensive specialist of Tanduay has pulled down 9 rebounds, made 6 points during the first half.
Missed both of his free throws. Nobody's guarding Coloso, but they didn't get the ball to him.
Works the baseline, and he gets hammered down on the floor. Foul against Israel. That'll be his third. 77-74. Hills Brothers, the biggest lead was 11 when it was at 63-52.
Both of the teams now missing from the 15-foot line, and in a close match like this, you know it's going to tell. Both free throws also missed by Coloso. At least it's a big howl from the crowd as both squads begin to miss from the 15-foot line.
And you know, Tim, during the past 5 games, only took 2 from the line, made them both. And here's an escape act from Fernandez.
You know, there are a lot of Tanduay fans expecting them to pull off their second win tonight. They've been very quiet throughout the game, but right now they see the rally and they're beginning to clap their team off. His brothers must regain its composure.
Well, I think the fans of Tanduay do recall and acknowledge one of the characteristics of Tanduay, and this was articulated on by Padim Israel in one of the interviews with our man on the ball. He says, you know, somehow when we're leading the game, then we will probably collapse. But when we're trailing, we do try harder, and because of that effort, we come out on top at the end of the ball game.
That's true, and that's been proven also in the first conference. But this is a tough cookie to crack, a tough nut to crack. The Coffee Kings, they played very bad in the last 3 minutes of the third quarter. Let's see if they can get it back. Villamin getting his first free throw. Shooter, 12 out of 20 for Yoyoy so far. About 100% so far in those 2 free throws.
Well, Villamin made 6 points during the first and then another 4 during the second for 10 of the half, and came up with another 4 points in the third. He's pulled down 11 rebounds, 8 and 3. Here's a tough assignment for Ricky Relosa, trying to contain Mon Fernandez. Mamaril from the outside. You see 2 white shirts going up.
Yes. Relosa also a great leaper, getting the defensive rebound.
Villamin takes up from the outside, and he draws a foul from Mamaril.
Villamin knows how to fish for the fouls. You know, he's coming in very strong. Another 2 free throws for Yoyoy Villamin. Mamaril picking up his 3rd personal foul.
And that'll be the 3rd team foul carried by Tanduay to only 1 by Hills Brothers with 9 and 52. Had to apply the body English.
Good bounce there for Yoyoy Villamin. Sacrificing some height, Freddie Hubalde comes in for Romulo Mamaril, who does not really have a good game tonight.
Well, here in the All Filipino, Hubalde has been averaging 15.2 points per game after a high of 21. But you know that Hubalde is capable of scoring 19 points in the fourth quarter. He's done it before.
Yes, he's a stinger, as you would call it, Finger.
Villamin defending against Padim Israel. Can't seem to disengage. From the corner.
And you probably read Hubalde right. You know, this is his quarter. He's got to put it all together now. 3-point lead for the Coffee Kings.
Hubalde's 13th point. So far for Hills Brothers, only 1 player has scored here in the fourth quarter, and that's Villamin, knocking in 4 out of his 18. Here's Boggs, but picked up by Villamin. Relosa, way off the mark. On Fernandez. De La Cruz scores.
Good decision by Fernandez. He had a couple of people to go to. Padim coming in, the trailer would have been free. De La Cruz was closer to the basket, and the lead has been cut down to 1.
De La Cruz has come up with 7 points here in the second half. Oaks Adonado switching over Padim. They're trying to play hide and seek. from the corner. That's going to be a pumping foul against De La Cruz. With 8 minutes and 34, it's a 1-point Hills Brothers lead. They had it at 11, and we have a timeout. Boxa Donado was recalled to the bench, and we have the return of Valenciano. Escalating tries to chase him wherever he goes. Ricky Relosa will challenge Mon Fernandez, knocked away by Fernandez. Boxa Donado's production was quite low today, and he's been averaging 17.6 per game, and tonight he's only come up with 6, and that happened yesterday during the first half.
That's right, partner. He has not been given that much playing time because of the good game of Valenciano and Alolor.
Relosa will challenge. Got deflected by Mon Fernandez, but they will keep it. Last touch. Israel. 8 minutes and 17. It's only a 1-point lead being enjoyed by Hills Brothers. 81-80.
They can't really buy a basket at this point, and somebody's got to take charge for the Coffee Kings.
De La Cruz really keeping an eye on Saldaña. Valenciano on the outside. Step 10 on the shot clock.
High pass there inside, and an interception is nobody really running for Tanduay. That's why Fernandez still waiting for his teammate to come in for the fast break.
Tim Colosso pulling down his 5th rebound. It's the open man.
Hills Brothers back to a 3-point lead.
And the biggest lead was 11, while Tanduay enjoyed a 5-point lead early on during the first quarter. Colosso on Hubalde. Time 7 minutes and 20 seconds. The foul is going to go against Tim Colosso on his feet. Canson.
Second personal foul on team. You know, actually, Freddie Hubalde lost his balance in that play. That's why team was really imploring with the referee. I never touched him. And Valenciano is now standing up because the call had been made. Hubalde threw the ball up in the air. And he was hoping for 2 free throws for Freddie Hubalde.
Anyway, the call remains. Juan Fernandez going to disengage from Tim Colosso. And also Ricky Relosa. The foul is going against Relosa. That'll be his 3rd. And the 3rd team foul against Hills Brothers.
Compared to 4 for Tanduay.
They go to Hubalde. Esquera looking for the open man.
An offensive foul called against Padilla.
That's a foul away from the ball. Trying to out-position Villamin. Backed off, pushed off, and that'll be his 4th personal foul. 15 foul now being carried by Tanduay. Esquera, De La Cruz, and Hubalde playing with 2 personal fouls. Mon Fernandez only with 1 personal. Working the baseline. Valenciano is open. Nothing of the follow-up from Tim Colosso. Going to Valenciano.
One more time.
And the second time around gets the right result.
Sweeter also the second time around. Valenciano, a great hustler, going for the loose ball recovery. 5-point lead again for the Coffee Kings after Tanduay came as close as 1.
And the Hills Brothers very quickly shut the door just in case De La Cruz is looking for an opening and wants to penetrate.
We have only 6 minutes and a half left in this ball game, Pingoy.
The last one.
Another bad throw in by De La Cruz. His 2nd in this ball game.
You know, somehow that affects the momentum of the run makers.
Generalao seems to be all right. He's going to be sent in for De La Cruz. Yes.
And that's a pretty
loud slap
on a low 5.
I don't know if Willie can still dribble with his left hand after that.
Yes. Matter of fact, remember that he had a broken wrist. But it's right. Villamin seems to have caught his 2nd win. Continues to move without the ball. Here he comes from the wings. Open is Ricky Relosa from 15. Long that time. On Fernandez. Pulling down his 14th rebound. 10 and 4. El Presidente looks for the opening. Found it. Oh! No, he did not get the shooter's bounce.
He'll take two, however, from the 15-foot line. Foul called against Valenciano. Fernandez, a 67% free throw shooter. Earlier, he hit the technical free throw called against the Coffee Kings on Alulor. And missing his first free throw.
Ramon Fernandez scored 8 points in the first quarter, sat down and was paced by Valenciano, came back, added another 6, ended the half with 14, then scored 8 in the third quarter for 22. He's got 3 points in the fourth quarter for 25.
Including the 2 free throws that Padim missed, that's 4 for Tanduay that they have missed in this fourth quarter, and they're down by only 5.
Could have been a 1-point game. Could have been. Villamin, a little bit too strong. Turnaround shot by Valenciano. 17th rebound now for El Presidente.
Oh, quick hands on the part of Marcus Aldana and good anticipation.
5 and 25. That's the time left here in the fourth and last quarter. Generalao covering Mighty Mike. Controls the pace. But the Coffee Kings must not be timid in wanting to attack. They've got 2 on the shot clock.
3-point shot by Coloso.
At least he put it up.
That's right. And there's another foul given up by Marte.
That'll be his 4th personal foul and the 16th foul against Hills Brothers. We have a timeout. Saldaña's playing with 4 personal fouls, Relosa with 3, Team Coloso and Valenciano 2 each, and Villamin just 1.
15 seconds left on the shot clock for Tanduay. There's a holding foul on Marte. That's going to be his 5th personal foul, and that will also put the Hills Brothers Coffee Kings in penalty situation, because
that's trouble. That's trouble with a capital T. Juan Fernandez will probably challenge. He's inching a little bit closer.
Offensive rebound by Hubalde, and he makes the shot.
What a very strong move. The foul going against Team Coloso for his 3rd. Saldaña is not risked. He's going to sit down, and Canson dispatches Lim.
Yes, Franco Lim will take charge as the point guard, together with Coloso in the backcourt. Freddie Hubalde trying to complete a 3-point play, and he cuts down that lead to 2. You know, both of the squads have not scored for a long while. That score was nailed to 85-80 for quite a while.
Yes. And during crunch time, you can rely on Hubalde.
That's right.
And so far, Hubalde has come up with 5 points out of the 16. More to come. Villamin from outside.
Ball falling into the hands of Fernandez. Freddie Hubalde. You were expecting it, Pingoy. He was going to challenge Villamin and Coloso in that play.
The foul is going against Villamin for his 2nd, and we have a timeout. Time left, 3 minutes and 58 seconds. In spite of the fact that Hills Brothers in front by 2, they appear to be in a precarious position.
They have not scored for the last 2-3 minutes, Pingoy, and some of the key players are in foul trouble. Saldaña already on the bench with 5. Freddie Hubalde looking for the equalizer with these 2 great shots of his. And he's been a main man in their comeback. You know, he's been the one who's taking care of the scoring. 17 points now for Freddie, and missing the 2nd free throw. It's always been that they could never really come back and equalize.
It is now a 1-point lead of Hills Brothers, and what a big basket coming from Ricky Relosa.
Back to a 3-point lead for the Coffee Kings. Coach Nat Canson really very animated on how to defend Fernandez.
Fernandez looking for room. 1 pump, another one. Does not get the shooter's bounce. Hubalde is under the basket.
There's Hubalde with the follow-up. It's going to count plus a foul. Hubalde really the man of the hour for Tanduay.
The three taller men of the Rhum makers tried to really fight for position inside. Padim Israel, Hubalde, and Mon Fernandez initiating the attack.
That's right. There you can see the follow-up of Freddie Hubalde plus the foul. Ricky Relosa complaining that Fernandez should have been called for 3 seconds with all those pump fakes that he did underneath the basket.
Well, there were 4 white shirts from Hills Brothers. They were at the back of the red shirts.
That's right.
They were outside looking in.
And he still misses the free throw that can equalize, but they get the and a traveling violation called against Padim. And he's showing it to referee De Leon.
Well, he's got to stay cool.
And up to now, Fernandez is going to let's see what referee Ledesma makes with the call. And a technical foul called against Padim.
Maybe yes, he slammed the ball hard, went over his head. That's automatic.
He was really in disgust because he was trying to show referee Ernie De Leon what he was doing when he was holding on to the ball.
He was trying to dribble on 1 foot, and if he bounced the ball, he was skipping rope.
Valenciano hits the free throw. That should end all those arguments. And that's a 2-point lead right now for the Coffee Kings. They will have possession of the ball.
Time, 3 minutes and 24 seconds. Now keep in mind that Hills Brothers over the limit to only 5 team fouls of Tanduay. They will need their 8th point guard. Lim has been off and he cannot seem to find that up-tempo bringing up the quality of this game.
It's hard for him to really get started, Tingo. He has not been given playing time in and out of the court. So Martes Aldana, more experience, and definitely the top point guard for the team. Lim really eggs him on to give his best.
But he's playing with 5 personal fouls. Valenciano. Here comes drive and draw from Alulor. Blocked on Villamin, but he went for a second serving. The players of Tanduay must stop picking on the officials every time there is a score or there is something which they don't like. They just got to keep their concentration.
Yes.
It is anybody's ball game.
Up to this point, with 2 minutes and 47 left.
There's a cut by Generalao. Does not receive the pass. For sure, they go to Hubalde, and a knee foul is going to go against Alulor. And Alulor is trying to establish a conversation. He might get a tee.
He already got one earlier, partner.
That's right, and we have a timeout.
Freddie Hubalde will take 2 free throws. Alulor is being replaced by Team Coloso. The foul of Alulor was committed in the penalty situation. And Tanduay really suffering from poor free throw shooting here in the 4th quarter. 6 misses already here in the 4th quarter. And Hubalde continues to miss. That's 7.
And Hubalde has scored 8 points out of his 19 here in the 4th. He's also pulled down 5 offensive rebounds. Comes up with a split for his 20th point. Generalao brings up the defense against Saldana. Hubalde on Coloso. Nobody posting low. Valenciano works on that pick. He finds the opening. Shot block by Mon Fernandez. Good clean block. 4 players in foul trouble. There's on the court. Saldana playing with 5. Ricky Relosa with 4. Team Coloso is with 3. Padim Israel is playing with 4 personal fouls. Generalao 3. Mon Fernandez only 1.
Only 5 seconds left on the shot clock for the Coffee Kings to come up with a play.
They go out to Ricky Relosa.
It's going to be a big break for them. Yes.
It's a 2-pointer. Hitting it from 21. Valenciano now has scored 22 points.
Fernandez can't get it to fall, but he'll take 2 from the 15-foot line.
That'll be the 5th against Relosa. 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Mon Fernandez. 14 points. First half. Another 8 in the 3rd for 22. Looking now for 26 points. And he has pulled down 19 rebounds.
And the free throw continues to haunt the Tanduay Rhum makers.
It's like a nightmare.
Yes, it's like there's a lead on top of that ring. 4 misses by Fernandez here in the fourth quarter. 2 by Patin, 2 by the Hubalde.
Hills Brothers on top by 5. A minute and 48. They have 8 on the shot clock. They really trapped Villamin, came up with a bad pass. Here is Hubalde. Almost lost his footing. Good interception by Valenciano.
And there's a holding foul called against Padim, an intentional foul. It was an advantage foul to prevent a fast break for the Coffee Kings.
Watch it once more.
Really holding on to Valenciano.
Someday, there may be a consideration about that breakaway foul.
Yes, that thing of the NBA partner wherein you get the free throws and you get possession of the ball, because they're certainly taking the advantage of a fast break. And Valenciano.
We have a two-man substitution from Valenzuela, Sanchez and Cordero checking in for Israel and Hubalde. Valenciano started everything rolling for Hills Brothers, knocking in 11 in the first quarter, had another 4 during the second, 15 in the half, a basket during the third, and now he has come up with 8 points.
Fernandez taking a 3-point shot and making it, cutting down the lead to 4. Yoyoy is really strong when he takes it to the hoop, partner?
Yes. He was thinking about stopping it in, but Fernandez was there, and he will go to the line. Nice skid. Fernandez really knows how to skid. Villamin, 6 points in the first quarter, another 4 during the second for 10 and a half. On his way for a 10-point explosion and a possible 24 here in the fourth quarter, and he has pulled down 15 rebounds, 11 and 4.
And look at the ball falling into Valenciano. He was there anticipating the miss and another kneeing foul called against Willie Generalao.
Apologizes to Valenciano, and Generalao very quick to raise up his arm, and a warning on Generalao. See the time in your inset, down to 53. And at the moment, Hills Brothers keeping their composure, on top by 7 points. Both coaches can call 2 more timeouts.
It's really Valenzuela who needs the timeout at this point. 8-point lead right now for the Coffee Kings. Make that 9.
Smooth follow through. They're thinking of Rainbow Country. For sure, they go to Esquera under the basket.
Easy 2 points.
That's going to be a tag foul called against Fernandez.
He's about to give up. He's the guy who is not in foul trouble, and it's a way to stop the clock.
Mighty Mike can also be counted from the 15-foot line, especially during crunch time.
Oh yes, partner. Tonight he's been doing well so far, 3 out of 3.
Boggs has not taken any attempt from the free throw line in tonight's game. Boggs Adonado, so action, scored 6 points during the first half, and his 61 consecutive remains there. What hustle by Villamin.
Another foul given up by Cordero, so 2 more free throws coming up for
101, 92 for Hills Brothers, and they are 17 seconds away from a victory at the expense of Tanduay.
Yes, that will be their fourth victory in 6 starts. So they will join the Formula Shell team in second place right now, just half a game behind the Great Taste Coffee Makers.
So you've got 3 teams with 4
wins right now. And Tanduay now, with this impending defeat, will tie the Magnolia Ice Cream Makers in the cellar with 1 win and 4 losses.
By the way, in case you don't know yet, the first game was won by Formula Shell. They defeated Ginebra San Miguel by 10 points. Official score was 105 to 95. The victory for Formula Shell.
Yoyoy making his first free throw. By the way, if our friend Joe Cantada is watching, I hope he can call me up when I get home after this ball game.
10 seconds left. Both squads over the limit. Mighty Mike.
That's not going to count.
Well, it appears it's counted, partner. There was an official sign from one of the referees, so it's a 12-point victory of Hills Brothers. Score 106 to 90.